So I need your attention here, okay? We're going to talk about sustainable development.
I would say the vision of the World Youth Alliance is of personal excellence. You see all of these young people from all around the world. They care about others, they care about the world.
We all have the same mission because we all want to change the world. We all want to change our societies.
Everyone's talking about human rights, but no one knows why they're protecting them.
They're looking for answers. Who am I? Do I actually matter?
How can I really implement human dignity in my day-to-day life?
Just that idea that if you believe in something enough and you work hard enough, you can really change the world with something as simple as the idea of the dignity of the human person.
If you can teach people lessons of human dignity, there will be a lot less massacres or genocide, which is why principles that WIA stands for, which is equality and dignity for every human being, is very important, because unless you know why you're fighting for something, I don't think that goal can be achieved in the short term or even in the long term.
WIA is really making me see the beauty in a person despite everything else and making it something more than just ideology or a theory, putting it into practice and really kind of starting a revolution.
I think there is an urgency in terms of artwork. I don't see anyone else doing the work the World Youth Alliance is doing. Freedom is this huge burden of responsibility, but also power in that sense that through ideas you're shaping your surroundings and trying to sculpt them towards something better.
Human dignity is how he is to improve himself for what is true and what is beautiful.
It's definitely an urgent time to point out those inconsistencies in our different ideologies and show that we need to be consistently affirming the value of human life at all levels, otherwise we all become vulnerable.
Organizations like World Youth Alliance have to exist because there's a constant need for someone to stand up for the little guy, the person that has no voice, and that's what World Youth Alliance does.
The World Youth Alliance aims to educate young people on the dignity of the human person and to build solidarity among the youth from developed and developing countries. Signing up to become a WIA member is super easy. Number one, you have to be between the ages of 10 to 30. And second, you have to sign the World Youth Alliance Charter on our website. And after that, you'll be part of hundreds of opportunities around the world and you'll meet a lot of new friends. There are many opportunities for young people to get involved with WIA. First is through our advocacy-related events by studying our WIA white papers or representing WIA at international institutions. Second is through our educational projects like undergoing our certified training program, becoming an intern, or bringing the human dignity curriculum to your school or youth community. And the third is through our cultural initiatives like participating in our regional arts forum or through our Manhattan International Film Festival. WIA members should do the CTP because it allows them to understand deeper the dignity of the human person, and it gives them various reading, studying how movements around the world have really helped in terms of promoting the dignity of the person and what are some of the problematic movements that have led to various challenges in our history. First is really enjoying the readings. The readings are really rich and there's so many great authors that we've compiled through the CTP. So it's really important for you to enjoy the experience and not rushing through it. The second is for you to discuss these ideas with your family, with your friends, so that you're able to also get their ideas and their thoughts. And the third is if you need any help, just asking for your mentors to really help you and coach you in the process. WIA members can apply to our internship program, which is available online. It is available in all of our regional offices around the world, and we have limited slots, so I encourage you to sign up today. The World Youth Alliance invests in really educating young people on the dignity of the human person. And this is important because when young people around the world understand that they have worth, that the people around them have the same worth that they have, they're able to create excellent decisions and they're able to contribute towards the flourishing of their societies and their countries. First, you have to undergo the Certified Training Program, or the CTP, and once you've passed the training program, you can inform your regional director, and they will help you with the next steps needed for you to become a chapter leader for your own school or for your country. Yes, definitely. We have a program for them, and it's called the Human Dignity Curriculum. It's a personal identity program that helps children understand their dignity and how they can make excellent decisions. Yes, of course, you can become a World Youth Alliance friend. WAYA friends help WAYA through various ways, by becoming a donor or by introducing us to youth communities or to schools all around the world. We'd like to invite you to join the 1 million young people all around the world and become part of the World Youth Alliance. Don't forget to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. See you around! Hello to all of our listeners and friends from all around the world. Welcome to an episode of Live with the Wire. I'd like to know if you're watching and joining us today. Please type in your name and your country in the comment section below. And we would like to know if you're watching, and we'll be showing some of the names later if you're able to comment. So please comment. We'd love to know if you're watching us. And if it is your first time watching this show, we would like to share with you that this is a new program that we've launched about 5 weeks ago to showcase World Youth Alliance staff from all around the world, so you can meet the people behind the amazing projects that the World Youth Alliance is organizing, and to learn about our upcoming events and activities. Before we invite our special guest for the final episode, we are going to start with a WAYA trivia. As you know, every week we have a WAYA trivia, and for this week it's a bit special since it's the last episode. And this week's trivia is, what painting inspired the design of the WAYA logo? Again, what painting inspired the design of the WAYA logo? So if you know the answer to this question, if you want to make a guess, please feel free and go ahead, type in your answer or your guess in the comment section below. And I hope one of you will have it correct and will be able to share your answers later at the end of the program. So let's get started. So every week we invite a staff member or staff members from a regional office. And for this week, for our final episode, we are going back to the very first World Youth Alliance regional office, and that is in North America. I would like to welcome Siobhan, WAYA North America Program Officer. Siobhan, welcome to the show. How are you feeling today? I know it's quite early in the
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I'm doing well. How are you, Lord?
I'm doing great. You know, I have mixed emotions. Very excited to have you, but a bit sad since we're ending this live series. But glad to have you for the final episode. All right, so we're going to get started. So we prepared a couple of questions. Our goal for the next 30 minutes are for our members in North America, but even all around the world, to get to know you a little bit better. So we prepared a couple of questions. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, so we're going to start similar to the previous WAYA staff members. We're going to start by you sharing with us briefly your World Youth Alliance story. Please share with us, Siobhan, how you met WAYA and why did you sign the charter? Tell us about your WAYA journey so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So I honestly don't remember exactly when I found Wyatt. I think it was maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. And I think it was really just by chance. I was searching on something, I was looking for pro-life advocacy work at the UN. I already knew I was really passionate about international affairs. I was going into grad school for international relations. And I think I just stumbled on Wyatt online. I saw the charter and I guess I'm just one of those weird people that like signing my name to things, even if I didn't have any immediate plans for getting involved. I think I also dragged my now husband into it. We were dating at the time. He said, look, this is really cool. You have to sign this. So it started there, but I didn't really follow up too much in the beginning. I was busy with school and everything else. And then Wyatt just kind of kept following me wherever I went, honestly. I think I had a couple of mutual connections with Anna Halpine who kept bringing her up to me, saying that I should meet with her if I had the opportunity. One of them actually did set up the opportunity for me to meet her, and she generously took some time out of her day in New York and just talked with me about my future, career possibilities, etc. And I also heard her give a talk at a youth forum that I was attending. I guess it was a little over a year ago now. And I was just so impressed with her and with the work Wyatt was doing. It kind of came back on my radar. So when I guess when it came time to start looking for a position, I was graduating from my master's program this past spring. And I was really just getting really frustrated because I was looking for positions, but I just didn't find anything that was going to keep fulfilling my desire to really uphold human dignity, to uphold human rights as I understood them, as continuing from the moment of conception until our natural death, really being based in this firm understanding of the philosophy of the human person. So I was sending in job applications and hoping to maybe hear back, but honestly, my heart wasn't in it. I just couldn't see myself sitting at a desk day after day, kind of pushing paperwork and not feeling like I was making a difference. So I finally just providentially, I guess, this position was open when I happened to look at the website, and everything fell into place from there. It's been a great few months so far.
That's great. Thank you, Siobhan, for sharing that. Yeah, like similar to our previous Y staff members, every staff member really have different Y stories, and it's just amazing to see how these different experiences bring us to the World Youth Alliance, sometimes in ways we never thought it would. And since you mentioned, you just started, a few months ago, it feels like there's already a lot of things that has happened in North America. We have new chapters, we have new trained members. So my next question is, can you share with us what has been some of the most memorable things or unforgettable moments you've had so far working with our members in the North America region?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really just the personal one-on-one conversations and connections I've made. And that might sound a little funny given that my position has been entirely online since starting. Obviously, the summer has been an unusual time for everyone. But even just connecting with members, interns, etc., online, I've had some really interesting and meaningful conversations and just getting to know these young people. I think in particular, there was a young woman I spoke to. She was only about 13, I think. And I was talking with her about some opportunities for getting involved with Wyatt. And I asked her, what do you want to do with the training after you've become involved, maybe with our CTP? And she said, I want to change the world. And I was just so struck by that. And she was just so hopeful and optimistic. And this young woman was an immigrant to the US. She'd come from a country in Africa where there are a lot of human rights abuses. And she'd seen those firsthand, even though she was really young. And so she'd obviously seen some difficult things, but she just had this hope. And she was so excited to learn about this concept of human dignity, which I got the feeling wasn't something she'd really heard about before. But when she found it, she knew that that was what she wanted to do. That's how she wanted to change the world. And I think it's the experiences like that that just give me hope and make me feel like what we're doing at Wyatt is making a difference, even if it's just one person at a time.
That's beautiful. Yes, that's very inspiring. Yeah, I agree. This certified training program is really an inspiring program. It has changed definitely a lot of lives from all of our members all around the world. For those who are not yet familiar with the certified training program, this is an intensive training that we offer for free to all of our YM members. And it's a compilation of historical, modern day text, philosophy that really talks about human dignity and human rights. And if you want to sign up for the next training, please visit our website to enroll for free. That's wya.net/CTP. Siobhan, I like what you mentioned in terms of really a message of hope, especially during this time. I think more than ever, both of us would agree that there's a need for this message, to be brought not just in North America, but actually all around the world. And it's great that, the trainees are very dedicated. It's very inspiring to see all these young people, especially during the lockdown, going to classes every week, submitting their essays, and, just being part of this conversation, which is really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And for my next question, we would like to know, if you weren't a World Youth Alliance staff member, what would you probably be doing today? Just one. There might be a lot that you might want to do.
Oh, wow. That's a really interesting question. Oh, gosh, I have to think about this. Well, I guess in the long term, I think I'm just so inspired by the work that Waya has done. And I think I would love to eventually sometime in the future, I guess, have an organization of my own where I could really explore some of the same concepts that Waya does, but kind of bringing some of my unique background. And for those of you who don't know, I have a very unusual background. I was actually an Olympic figure skater for quite a few years before going to college. So I kind of just bring a lot of different things to my work. And so I will eventually take everything I've learned from Waya, everything I've learned from Anna, how she just built this from the ground up, and to be able to start something of my own to uphold human dignity in my own way.
That's beautiful. Yes, actually, a lot of our former staff and former interns have started their own nonprofits all around the world, and it's amazing to see how they applied all the learnings that they've got from Waya now to different organizations around the world.
Yeah.
Awesome. And for the next question, we are actually going to have a quick pause because we have prepared a surprise segment. So every week we have surprise segments that we prepare for the staff members. Last week we had Paula and her mom did some dancing, some Latin dancing. So for this week, we prepared a very special surprise for our members to get to know you a little bit better. So I would like to request our tech team to show it on the screen. I think Siobhan is a little bit nervous. Wow, that was incredible, Siobhan. Like, the whole time I was watching the video, I was just like, what? Of course, I've seen your video before this live program, but it was incredible. How did it feel seeing the video again?
It's kind of weird. It's been a little while since I've watched those, and especially because I'm about 9 months pregnant now, so I'm kind of watching myself like, was that really me? There's like right now I'm just waddling around, so it's a little bit of a disconnect, but it's fun to watch. It's really rewarding to be able to look back and say like, wow, yeah, I did that.
Yeah, for sure. That's amazing. So as Siobhan mentioned earlier, she was an Olympic figure skater. So just tell us very briefly, how did everything start for you? Like, why figure skating? And we want to know, because you were just so amazing in this video. It was like so inspiring, to have someone here tonight as our guest who's an Olympic figure skater. Share with us,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah. So people usually ask me how I started or how I knew I wanted to be a figure skater. And I tell them I think I started the way every little girl does. She's 5 years old, they're pretty dresses, she thinks it'll be cool. And I think a lot of 5-year-old girls say they want to go to the Olympics someday, and they usually forget about it after a few weeks. And for some reason, I just never did. I guess sort of in Waya language, I always had this desire for excellence. And for whatever reason, that the kind of excellence that appealed to me was excellence in this particular sport. I just had this drive from the time I was 5 years old. So I never really looked back, or I guess I joke that by the time I knew what I'd gotten into, it was too late. Like, I'd come so far, I just knew I had to see if I could do this. And I think I learned just so much through that experience. And working for Waya now and having the benefit of some of this language that we use to explain these concepts, talking about culture and beauty and dignity. And I think there's just so much that resonates for me from my experience as an athlete. Figure skating is unique too, because it kind of straddles that line between sports and the arts. It's very much a beautiful art form, but it's also extremely intense, much more so than a lot of people realize. People will say it's not a sport, and you don't want to see me when people say that. So I think there's just so much that I learned and that other people have to learn about the dignity of the person when you're pursuing excellence in that way. When you learn to take care of your body, to take care of your mind, it's a kind of integral human development, I guess you could say, in like a small scale. But
sure.
you can't really leave out any part of your person, or else you're not going to have the results when you perform. So it was just an amazing experience.
That's awesome.
For me.
What was wow? And speaking of experience, what was your most memorable moment you were competing?
I think it's funny when you're growing up, you always think it's going to be the Olympics, and that was in some ways an extremely memorable moment. Don't get me wrong. But I think maybe the most memorable was, I think it was World Championships in maybe 2012. I start getting the years mixed up a little bit, but it was in Nice, France. And my skating partner and I had just been having rough practices going in. Nothing was really clicking, I guess. And everything just came together in that one performance. And I remember finishing that performance, and it was just the most amazing feeling ever when you know that you've put all that into it. And there's so much stress, there's so many nerves going in, but it is that feeling of knowing that you were excellent and you did the best you could. And the scores are great, when the judges recognize that, that's an incredible feeling. But just when you finish and you know that you did it, you know that what you did was beautiful and it was excellent. And I think that's the one that sticks the most in my mind.
That's great. I was wondering, was this the competition when you shared with me that they mispronounced your name? Was it this one or a different one?
I think they mispronounced my name a lot of times. I think the worst was not that World Championships, a different one. And I think it was announced as Sebastian maybe, or something like that. Unfortunately, I have a very difficult name. I competed on the Ukrainian team. My ace dance partner was from Ukraine. And it helps a little bit when you translate my name into the Ukrainian alphabet, they spell it phonetically. So they can actually pronounce it. It's the people that use our alphabet.
Oh, wow.
Where unless you're Irish, you just have no idea.
Wow, that's good to know. Yeah, I'm sure everyone this show is watching is like, how do you say her name? So yes. I want to go back to what you said about, there was so much stress, so much, tension. I'm sure before all of this, there was a lot of pressure, a lot of training, since you were representing Ukraine. And, it's just really inspiring again, because, right now, a lot of people, want to pursue their dreams, some of them might want to go to the Olympics like you, some of them might want to pursue a different career. And my next question is, what was most challenging when you were training? And, was there a moment when you even told yourself, like, I don't think I want to do this anymore? Like, what do you do? Like, how do you get back up when you have those moments?
Yeah. There were definitely a lot of those moments. Part of it is just the physical intensity of the training. I mean, there's just so many sacrifices you need to make. I was homeschooled from 7th grade through high school. So while I loved that and it was really great for my training, I definitely missed out on things that other young people had through their school experience. I actually deferred college for 4 years. So I went to the Olympics and then retired from skating so I could pursue my college degree at the age of 23. So there were definitely things I had to give up. And just given how much work it takes and how difficult it is, there were times when it didn't seem like it was worth pursuing. And also, you don't know going in that you're going to end up at the Olympics, that you're going to end up succeeding. When you're little, people tell you, oh, just give it up. Like 1 in a million people actually reach that goal. What's the point? And honestly, too, I think at the end of the day, the most difficult things that we're all going to experience, whether it's in sports or business or school, really comes down to the interpersonal relationships more than anything. I mean, yes, it's physically demanding, but at the end of the day, it's like we would say with Wyatt, like people are at the center of everything. And that's a beautiful thing, but it's also hard. That means that sometimes you need to work with people that you don't necessarily click with personality-wise. You can get on each other's nerves. You can, you've pretty close-knit training groups. You're dealing with the same people every day, and sometimes you can just all drive each other crazy. And that's okay. And I think at the end of the day, what just kept me going was I knew that if I stopped, I'd never forgive myself, if that makes any sense. Like I knew that if I stopped there, I would never know if I could have done it, if I could have been that excellent. And I think that's after the Olympics, I knew it was time to move on because I said, okay, I answered that question. I know. And now there are other things in my life. I need to know if I can do this. I need to know if I can, go to college and grad school. I need to know if there are these other ways that I can, contribute to the cause of human dignity. So I think for me, that's always been kind of the driving question.
That's amazing. Yes, I agree, and I want to test that. We train our members. We tell them to pursue excellence, and pursuing excellence is not easy. We're not telling them okay, pursue freedom for excellence, and it's just so easy. You do it every day. It's hard, but it's all worth it at the end of the day. And I'm sure that with your video, a lot of people were inspired tonight. So we want to show some of their comments on screen. If there were some comments from our live viewers who are watching us, so please write down any questions that you might have about the World Youth Alliance. But if you have questions too about figure skating, you're gonna ask them to Siobhan later on. All right. So I know we have a couple of members who are watching us. So we want to shout out to all of our members. Hello, Teddy Ann. Thank you for joining us. Balkis, thank you for joining us for today's live episode, live from Tunisia. Rangila, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. David Henry, our chapter leader for St. Lucia. Thank you for joining us. Also an awesome person pursuing excellence. Shimar, hello. Wow, Siobhan, I was just in awe. Prince, thank you for joining us for this live with Why North America. Shed, thank you. So in North America, we do have a lot of trainees coming in from different parts of the US and also in Canada. And actually North America also covers the Caribbean. And we do have currently active chapters in St. Lucia and in Trinidad and Tobago. So if you're watching us from these two countries, feel free to contact us to be in touch with your chapter. All right. So for my final questions, no more questions about the Olympics. I'm sure you can go through about that, but for now we'll have to conclude with the last question. And for the question I want to ask you, you have been very busy, doing a lot of things, as a new staff member for North America. But our members would like to know, what are you most excited about for YA North America? Not just for this year, but maybe for the coming year. And what are some of the upcoming events and projects that our members and even our alumni can participate?
So for this year, we actually have an event coming up tomorrow if you are interested in joining in. So we have an HDC, Human Dignity Curriculum open house that we're co-hosting with WIA headquarters. And you can tune into that on our Facebook live stream. You can also sign up in advance if you want. If you go to our website, go to the North America tab, and you'll find it under upcoming events. And that's really just for anyone that wants to learn more about the Human Dignity Curriculum, which I just think is an amazing curriculum that so many more people could benefit from than currently have access to it. So whether you're a teacher, or maybe a homeschooling parent, maybe you're just interested in finding a way to bring this curriculum to your community, you're more than welcome to tune in and just see what you think, see if there's a way that you can become involved in this program. And we're starting an online certified training program batch for North America. So it's not too late. If you're, after listening to this, really eager to try out our certified training program, you should feel free to email northamerica@wia.net, or you can go right to the website as well. I think that's flashing on the screen right now. And it's not too late. We'll get you in at the last minute. For next year, there's so many things I'm excited about. I think one thing I'm really looking forward to is strengthening the programming that WIA North America has to offer around culture. And that's something that's been at the heart of WIA right from the beginning. We see that with Anna Helpine, our founder, her passion for music and her expertise in that topic. But it's something that I think is special about WIA. We've understood from the start that it's not just about policy and it's not just about education. At the end of the day, change happens on the level of culture. And sometimes that's through the arts. So we see, we've had interns who were dancers or musicians, and they've written blog posts about these things and how they correspond with human dignity. I have my own experience with sports, which is, I think, a manifestation of culture as well. So I think that those are things that I would really love to bring to members. They're things that really resonate with them in their daily lives. Culture is something that we all interact with. I'd love to bring that to life through some of our online programs, and just to keep these discussions going next year. And I think that Lord might be having some technical difficulties, which is fine. But I think another thing that I'm really looking forward to is just kind of finding a way to reach this particular audience in North America even better than we already do. Obviously, WIA's values are truly global. I think we believe that they're universal. Things like dignity and solidarity, culture, those are for everyone. Human dignity is human dignity wherever you go in the world. But I think we're in a really unique time in North America. And we've all seen this summer with COVID, just with a lot of the things happening in our society. I think there's a real hunger for truth and for trying to figure out what do we do to make things better. And I'd really love to just have these conversations with young people in the US and Canada. And as Lord mentioned, we also cover Trinidad and Tobago and St. Lucia, and really find ways that we can tailor what WIA has to offer to everyone, but in a way that specifically really resonates with young people in North America.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Yeah.
Yes, we hope you can join us tomorrow for the Human Dignity Curriculum Open House. Thank you for everyone who have registered. We're expecting a full house event. We have over 500 registrants, but it's not yet too late. You can just feel free to visit again our Facebook page and also the North America page for tomorrow's event. Thank you very much, Siobhan, for joining us for today's Facebook Live. Again, it was great. I can't believe it's already been almost 30 minutes. It was really fun having you as the final guest. And I hope our members learned a lot about you and about North America and WIA. And hopefully many of them will get engaged. So now we're going to answer our trivia for the week. I'm sure Siobhan knows the answer to this trivia. What painting inspired the design of the World Youth Alliance logo? And the answer is Henry Matisse's dance painting. So we're gonna show it on the screen. There we go. This is actually in New York. I think it's at the Museum of Modern Art. And many of our interns who come to New York, we encourage them to visit the painting at the museum. And I'm not sure if any of you got it right, but at least now you know this is the inspiration. This is the painting behind the World Youth Alliance logo. So all of our online viewers right now, if you haven't signed up yet as a World Youth Alliance member, I invite you to join the 1 million young people in over 200 countries and territories and join the World Youth Alliance today by visiting our website, wya.net/get-involved, World Youth Alliance today, and get involved in our various programs and activities. After you sign up, I also want to invite you to apply to our certified training program. As Siobhan mentioned, we have an upcoming batch. This is available in all of our regional offices around the world. So we hope you can take advantage of this free opportunity. You will learn a lot and you will also meet friends from all around the world. Be the first to know about our future events and make sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you for joining us for the 6th and final episode of Live with the WIA President. Thank you again, Siobhan, and we hope to see you in our future events. So please continue to follow us on social media and join us in our upcoming virtual events. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great weekend. Have a nice day, Siobhan. Thank you.
You too. Thanks.